Well, hello guys. Today we are playing with the Pretty Grunge palette from Huda Beauty. This is the look I created. Just go ahead and spoil that for you. I do show you another lip option, but this is the look we created today. I wanted to go just glam, just full spooky gothic glam today, I guess. And yeah, we talk all about the palette in this video. Just we go over the details and just have a good time playing with it for the first time, really diving in. And yeah, be on the lookout for more videos with this palette because I thoroughly enjoyed my experience. So yeah, if that interests you, just go ahead and keep on watching. Before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know down below, is there any colors in particular in the Pretty Grunge palette that you want to see me smear all over my eyeballs, because I am here for it. And yeah, I am going to do something with that black eye gloss because it's such an interesting product and I feel like I need to do something with it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and just get into the makeup. So we have got the Huda Pretty Grunge palette to play with today. Also, let's take a moment for the front. It's pretty cute. It's pretty cute. Not my favorite design, but her stuff's always a little bit more on the cutesier side of things, a little more whimsical. But still, I think it's really nice with the mirrored font. Like, it's well done, well designed. And I like the spark or the paint splatters. It's cute. Typical good construction here. Nice sturdy palette, very similar to the Empowerment palette in the way it's constructed. Nice mirror within, actually great mirror, in fact. Wow. And the shades inside are just gorgeous. I mean, to me, this is an ideal cool tone palette because you do have those more neutrals in here as well. And it kind of leans a little bit into that purple family, which I like. I enjoy that. It's very mauve-y feeling. And you have some fun sparkle and purple tones. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no real game plan for a look. I'm just going to play. And we're going to see what happens. I'll just show you what I come up with. This is my first time sitting down playing with it, so I'm pretty excited. I've swatched a couple of the shades. I'm sorry, I'm plugging you in. I've swatched a couple of the shades and seen what they look like, and they are quite interesting. And you also have this really cool, like, glossy black shade down here, which I definitely want to use for something in a, maybe like an Instagram reel or a short, because it just looks like fun to do a really messy grunge look with that. And I'm into that. And I love the whole Pretty Grunge aesthetic. If you've been on my channel a while, you know that's kind of a look I go for myself a lot. I call it soft glam grunge, I think, a lot of times, or soft gothic glam. I like to incorporate the grunge look. And I also like, there's like the dual chromes in here and stuff. And one thing that is quite cool, if you just like cover up like half this palette, like these two rows right here, you have a great like everyday selection of just easy soft looks you could just slap on. So you got some versatility in here as far as that goes. And I think you got a nice color variation. When you glance at the palette, you might think, it's really cool and kind of but when you swatch the shades out, you see some differences and some nuance. And I did want to compare it to a couple of other Huda palettes. First, I wanted to just briefly kind of compare it to Empowerment. I feel like Empowerment is, I feel like Pretty Grunge is a really nice evolution of Empowerment. Like, you have some similarities, but not dupes within. They're not the same shade, but there's a relation and an evolution of the colors from within here. And this is like its warm counterpart. I think these two palettes are very like sisters in a way. They feel cohesive with one another somehow, even though like one's the warm and one's the cool. And yeah, that's what I think is kind of cool about it. And you have kind of those purpley tones in Empowerment that lean a little bit more on that warm side. And she teased us, I think, with this palette with a little bit of that coolness in here. And it just evolved into Pretty Grunge really well. And yeah, I really enjoyed the Empowerment palette. It's one of my favorite ones from Huda, in fact. I really like the larger palettes from her that I have. I've skipped a couple of them here and there just because I wasn't that interested in the color story. But like this one, Naughty Nude. And I have a feeling I'm going to really enjoy pretty grunge. I also wanted to just briefly compare it to the Wild Jaguar palette because I think you do have a little bit of similarity here, but still it's not quite. It's a different kind of tone going on, but this I think may have been like maybe like the little brainchild, like the inspiration. And I freaking love Wild Jaguar. It's one of my favorite little minis from Huda. This one and Khaki Haze Toffee are my favorites. But yeah, I kind of feel like you got like this might have inspired a little bit in moving into that cool tone side of things. And in this one you have more like there's more like kind of dirty shades, a little bit more mauve-y, and you've got these really weird kind of dirty greeny golds right here, and then this pretty purpley tones. They're a little more plummy. But I don't think they're similar, but I think you can get it reminds you of it. To me there's dupes, and then there's palettes that are reminiscent of one another and kind of just give you a similar vibe, but they're not the same. I don't think I have anything truly in my collection that looks like this. I picked up the I Need a Nude palette from Natasha Denona as well. So I felt like, oh, there might be some overlap. Actually, when you see them side by side, you still kind of like, maybe. But in swatch and application, they're miles apart as far as like the looks you can create. To me, this is a little bit more, it's a softer palette. It's everyday approachable with a little bit of glam. Whereas the Huda one, I think you can get a little more spiciness from, if you know what I mean. A little more, it's sassy. It's got a little more edge, a little more attitude. Another palette that I thought of was, of course, another palette I thought of course, is Stone Cold Fox. And again, there might be a little bit of vague overlap in here. Obviously, like with a black eyeshadow, maybe a taupe or something. But I don't see a lot of dead-on dupe comparisons between these two palettes. Stone Cold Fox is a great just go-to cool tone palette though if you were in the market for one, because it's more affordable, because it has a multitude of shades in there. But there's a nuance within, I think, the Pretty Grunge palette as well as the I Need a Nude that speaks to me a little more. There's more complexity within the shades. You got some really interesting kind of like duochromes and finishes and formulations. The formulations are on another level, and everything I've swatched in here so far has felt so creamy. Okay, so I wrote down a few little notes here. This does retail for $69. This is a smoky cool tone palette of wearable versatile shades, including a glossy black, sparkling blacks, and silvers with finishes that range from matte nude to multi-chromatic foils. Sounds really fun to me. How many shades we got here? 18 shades. So you do get a couple extra shades that you wouldn't get in New Nude also. I've saw a lot of comparison between those and the Xenon palette, which I can't get excited about that one. I don't know. I've watched people use it. I'm just not into it, man. I don't need that much cool tone in my life. We have Liberty Burnt Peach Matte, Heroin Light Peach Matte. I like the incorporation of peaches. Avant-Garde Deep Black and Gold Powder Metallic, Renegade Ultra Black Brave Mauve Matte, Beauty Chaos Lilac Matte, Rise Up Neutral Brown Matte, Stand Up Copper Powder Metallic, Strong AF Silver Black and Purple Creamy Metallic that has the marbled finish, Nirvana is an Eggplant Brown Matte, Hope Deep Neutral Matte Brown, Haphazard Multichromatic Shimmer Drops, Fearless Purple Brown Matte, Love Anarchy a Taupe Matte, Maverick Creamy Silver Metallic, Rebel Multichromatic Shimmer Flakes, Freedom Purple Gray Matte, Grunge Black Eye Gloss. I feel like I struggled through that a little bit. Yeah, the shade Strong AF looks beautiful. Haphazard looks stunning. I kind of really want to dip into that Avant-Garde shade, which is the Deep Matte and Gold Powder Metallic. That sounds really cool. Let me just give it a little swatchy swatch. Ooh, it feels very creamy. Very creamy. Let me see here. What are we looking like? Oh, that's pretty. That is quite pretty. I kind of want to use that. I like that finish. Everything feels so creamy within this palette. And the shade Haphazard is freaking gorgeous. I'll give you this little swatch of it. very cool, dirty, kind of black-based purple, duochrome type shade, multi-chrome. Very cool, very grungy. Let's dive in. I've already primed my eyes and got my brows on clearly, and I need some more lip balm. My lips are so dry right now. This hot, cold business, mostly cold lately, doing a number. I have like such bad surface dryness and my lips are so dry. So I think I will start out with a E25 as per usual. Where do I even want to start? I think I'm going to take Heroin and see what that looks like, just kind of up a little bit higher in the socket line. Heroin is the light peach matte. It's kind of like a yellow base looking shade. Let's just dib dab into that. Oh, well, that picks up. I don't want to create a look like everybody else has been creating. Everybody's been going so hard into the cool tones. I kind of want to like, just me, the contrarian here, has to kind of want to do the opposite. Whatever. I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to think too hard about it. A little bit powdery, this shade. I see it kind of, but yeah, that looks nice through the, like as a transition. This could be a very useful transition in the palette to ground these cool tones. You know, it doesn't look like much like that. I can see what it would do. I think it'd be quite functional to have as a blending out shade. All right, let's jump over to Liberty, which is the burnt peach matte, and bring that a little deeper. I want the warmth in there to kind of just ground the look. I look washed out when I don't bring a little warmth in with a cool tone look. So I really appreciate this in the I Need a Nude palette for having those rosy peaches in there that really flow into my skin tone well. Oh, oh dear. That is a little more pigmented than I was expecting. Wow. Wowie, wow. Dang. Good job, Huda. Just wasn't expecting that. That looks nice. Now that I kind of softened that out and blended it out, maybe we can just take a touch more. Yeah, that is a very pretty tone also. That's a really nice peach tone. A very functional shade. That's one thing I appreciate when a palette has functional shades in there and not just fun shades. I want those basic grounding the look shades. I want the creamy shades. I want the dark browns and the black shade. I don't care if I have multiple palettes. I don't like to have a million palettes out, them having to dip into. When I want to use a palette, I want to just use that palette, right? So I don't mind having that across the board in my palettes. And most of the time, every palette's a little bit different. The undertones are slightly different, and that looks nice. Let's try a little bit of Brave, a little bit deeper in. Blend that into Liberty. Brave is the mauve matte. I would have called Fearless mauve. Okay, what is Fearless? Purple brown matte. Whatever. This is kind of a warmer appearing mauve on the brush. Yeah, that's a little bit warmer than a lot of what I would consider a mauve. I would have called this like a rosy brown. But I like it. I really do. That is just softly pretty. That's a pretty tone. And the fact that these shades are quite pigmented also makes it versatile for multiple skin tones, which I do appreciate. I appreciate a brand who is thoughtful about that. I would realistically, just so everyone could get to use a palette and enjoy it, be fine with things being a little more pigmented and rich, and just I could adjust my pressure and go with a lighter hand, and I would be fine with that. That doesn't really bother me that much because I can blend stuff out. I can make them work, and that doesn't work the other direction. You know what I mean? So I'd rather things be a little bit more impactful and have that option. Especially if you're like a work and makeup artist, you definitely would want that in your kit as well to be able to work across the board on multiple people. If somebody wants a cool tone look or whatever, it's nice that it wouldn't be hard to find shades that would work for multiple skin tones. You could tell there was some thought put into the shades, and that's what I said. Same thing about the I Need a Nude. There was some definite thought put into the undertones and the nuance of the shades, even though just glancing at it you might not think that much about it. When you start to blend it out though, you're like, oh, Oh, there's a complexity to the formula and the formulation of the color. I've noticed that between like high end and more affordable palettes, there is a difference between tones and the complexity of shades and how they blend out what they'll look like. So that is a thing. And as much as I love my affordable palettes, I love my ColourPop, they can't compete on that kind of level. And it's not like it's something super important. If I was just really honing in on differences and really being thorough and picky about it, those are the differences I see, is just a slight color of things. But I mean, it's not that big a deal. Again, that's just me being a little extra with it. Okay, I think that's beautiful. Like if you just did this and then threw like the shade Stand Up over it. Stand Up is the copper powder metallic. I think you would have such a beautiful everyday look right here. Oh yeah, nice. All right, I'm gonna switch to my EU27. And we're gonna further deepen things up. I'm gonna take a little bit of Fearless, which is the purple brown matte. I feel like there's a little more kick, like powderiness in this palette than Empowerment. But I mean, it's not like a big deal. It's just something I'm noticing. Like I notice more is picking up on my brush. Oh, that's quite purpley. Again, different than what it looks like in the palette in a very nice, surprising way. That's one thing I have always noticed about Huda and her eyeshadows, is they are always a pleasant surprise of the way that they look on the skin. They look one way in the palette, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you start to put it on, and you're like, oh, this is even better. It's something about the way they blend out and how they transform. That is one of the things I notice more with higher end eyeshadow. Same thing, Natasha Denona. They're pleasantly surprising. That definitely goes very, like, almost plummy. And it's probably because it's getting paired with that peach on there and the warmer tone. But I bet if you did this with the cooler tones like Hope and Freedom, you would get more of a pinky look. Quite nice. Quite a very pleasant experience. I really like that color. Huda does very well with including like pinky undertones in her browns. Yeah, I really appreciate that, the way that is blending out. That looks so pretty. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous. I'm already pleasantly surprised. And you know, I hemmed and hawed about this palette a little bit when it first was revealed. I thought, do I need that? Do I really need that palette? Like, I really, really put off buying it until the Sephora sale. And I was like, you know what? I saw, I think it was Angela Bright. Is that her name? Do swatches. I was like, no, it's going in the cart. Just seeing those swatches, that was all I needed to see. And I'll forever say that about Huda's palettes is that the product pictures never do them justice. They're always far more striking in person and complex. I remember back when Desert Dusk was launched. That was my first foray into Huda, and I didn't think anything of it online. Like when I was looking at it on Sephora, I was like, it's another warm tone palette with some purple in it. Big deal. With a pop of purple. I just really was not into it. And I went in Sephora one day because I had a gift card or something for my birthday, and swatched it and saw the complexity and the beauty of it in person, and I was floored. Like, I was just like, oh. Immediately bought it and used it. And after that first use, I went out and bought all the Obsession palettes that at the time were out. And it was the Electric Obsession, Mauve Obsession, Warm Obsession, and Smoky Obsession. And freaking fell in love with those. Those were a million times better than the Desert Dusk palette. And Huda's quality has improved just so much since Desert Dusk. I remember thinking that was a good palette. It needed a glitter glue, but it was a good palette. And I loved the undertones and the complexity of the shades. By the time Naughty Nude came out and some of the more Obsession palettes, I was just like, oh my gosh, she has upped her game so much. Oh, Mercury Retrograde. That was the other one I got that I was like, wow about. So yeah, she is always working to innovate and improve, and she takes a risk with her palettes, and I appreciate it. Is it always something that I particularly want in a palette? Like those weird jelly shades that looked like viruses. Did I love that? No. Do I like all the bombing business? No. But I like that she's trying something and experimenting and being innovative about it. This looks so pretty. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, I'm gonna settle down here because I'm getting real excited apparently. And grab a packer brush. Just get very passionate about eyeshadow. All right, with the packer brush, we're gonna go into Avant-Garde, which is we're gonna go with Avant-Garde, the Deep Black and Gold Powder Metallic. All right, even though this is a powder metallic, it feels so creamy to the touch. All right, so we're gonna pick a little bit of that up on this little flat kind of packer style brush, shader brush. I'm gonna tap off any excess. And again, I don't have anything sticky on my lids. I've primed them with concealer and set it down with powder. So actually my lids are fairly well set. Okay, so I'm gonna just start to take this on the lid, on the outer half. Can you see that? That's freaking gorgeous. I barely put it on. I'm like, can you see that? But that's gorgeous. Hello. Oh, oof. I'm liking that. And I like that you can see the gold and silver within. This is a nice little formula. I would like to see more shades like this. And again, like Natasha Denona, she's always innovating too with her shades and formulas. So I think that's fun. It's exciting. I like trying new formulas. Get a little messy there. A little bit of fallout, nothing too bad. I would definitely do eyes first with a palette like this just because it's got a lot of kind of chunkiness in it and flakiness. That's kind of a rule across the board to me with all Huda palettes is eyes first. That is so pretty. I'm gonna take my finger just to like burnish it in. Oh yeah, that would be such a gorgeous smoky eye with just this. This would stand up in the inner corner. I'm getting so many ideas. Like this palette is so exciting to me, it's almost overwhelming. You ever get like too hyped about a palette that you don't even know what to do with it? That's where I am with this palette. And you know, I've had this for like a week and haven't gotten to play with it because I had a reaction on my eyeballs to a concealer, and it has been torture not to be able to get in here and play and create a smoky eye. I powered through the best I could in my video with Natasha Denona's I Need a Nude, but my eyes were just so not having it. They were so raw feeling. And it definitely wasn't the palette. It was a concealer, which had gone bad. Can you amend a review on Sephora, I wonder? Because I sure would like to amend one about that. That is so nice. Let me soften these edges because I know they got a little crazy there. That's blending out really nicely too. Huh. Cool. That is really pretty. Really nice kind of grungy color. Let me soften that out. And I'm gonna take some more of Fearless. We used Fearless. And just kind of shape around that. Yeah, so far I'd say just go with a light hand initially until you get a feel for this formula in the palette. But other than that, everything is blending very, very nicely. Nice ease. I have a dry patch right here and it's clinging to that. So ignore that. That is still where my eyes are a little bit dry. I have like a little bit like chapped skin on the corners of my eyes still. But yeah, this is my first time putting this on the eyeballs, so we're experiencing this together. and falling in love with the palette together. And that's such a nice feeling. And yeah, I did purchase this with my own money, by the way. And I don't really buy something if I don't think I'm gonna like it. I had a feeling I was gonna like this once I started seeing some swatches and stuff. Like, as much as I liked Empowerment last year, I'm like, I'm gonna really like that palette. I'm gonna regret it if I don't get it. I'm gonna get FOMO. I'm gonna put a little bit of that, and then maybe we'll put Maverick over it, just to see. I feel like Copper or Stand Up would look really pretty blended into Avant-Garde. Cleaned off that shader brush. It also has that very creamy texture. It's very soft, just almost like a Super Shock formula. Ooh, isn't that pretty? The way it glides on, very nice. And that's a very smooth shade. That is a pretty, like, soft copper. Just the softest, more of a champagne copper. That would be gorgeous across the lid for just day to day. I just really wanted to see what it would look like against the Avant-Garde shade. And I think they play together beautifully. Very pretty. That's just a very smooth formula. No chunkiness in that one, just glides. I want to take a little bit more of Avant-Garde. Just do a little back and forth here, the way I like to do. I'm gonna pull that up and out. Kind of let that focus the lash line a little. In fact, let's see what that looks like on a liner brush, just out of curiosity. And we do have a matte black in here also. Oh yeah, that is pretty. It's nice because it has that little bit of, there's a softness to the shade. That's quite nice. All right, let's take a little bit of Maverick now. I want to see what Maverick would look like. Just maybe tapped kind of in between. In the middle? Or should we put it right here? Let's put it right here on the inner part. I feel like it would be pretty there. Okay, it's picking up nicely on the brush. Or it's picking up on the brush pretty well. That is nice. Just a nice sparkly shade. That was a pretty light application. I'm gonna build it up. I just want to see how I do like this. That's nice if you just want some soft sparkle across the lid. You could definitely use it in that way. All right, let's take a little bit on the finger. And that's how you get the impact from this one. And I'm getting some Rogue sparkles. Pat that in there. That is very pretty. I do like the look of that. Soften it up. Yes. Yep. I enjoy that texture and that formula. Look at that. Sparkle. I love a sparkle. I like that. All right. I'm going to take some of the matte black in here, Renegade, and go right the lash line on an angled brush. Wow, that is a good black eyeshadow. I remember back in the Smoky Obsession, there was a black eyeshadow in it that was like, oh, one of the best black eyeshadows I ever used. And I was so sad when it broke. I dropped the palette or something and broke that one shade. I was like, ah! Because I loved the little Smoky Obsession. That is a really nice black eyeshadow. When a palette has just a good black eyeshadow in it, I'm happy. Like, just super dark and opaque. You can use as a liner. So I prefer to use shadow as liner. Okay, just kind of tickling that over the outer corner a little bit. And yes, I am definitely getting some fallout, but that is okay because we are gonna do the skin afterwards. I'm taking that little detail brush again. I'm just getting right in there with Maverick. I'm gonna take this little, what is this called? Detail Diffuse Crease. And we'll take a little bit of Nirvana, which is the eggplant. Just right here. Softly. Oh yeah, that's nice. That is nice. I like that color. I'm gonna take a little bit of Fearless. And you know what? We'll take a little bit of that Liberty shade, the peach that you originally went in there with. The second shade we used. Bring that around the upper part, right up there. This gives that little hint of warmth that allows it to blend. I like it. I think this is very pretty and very glam and fun. I'm gonna clean the fallout and do my face makeup, and we'll be back for lower lash line and finishing touches. See you in just a second. Okay, and we are back for lower lash line time. It did take me a little minute to clean up the fallout. I did have a healthy helping of fallout. But anyway, all right, lower lash line. We're gonna try to be careful and not get any more fallout. I also have 2 lip options to show you at the end because I was like, oh, this and also this. Can't decide. So I'm gonna grab this little detail brush. We'll just go straight in with Avant-Garde, I believe. I'll pick some of that up. Tip that brush off good. And I'm gonna run that right out here on the outer corner. Real close in there. Oh, that is doing a good job. Just a little bit further down, very softly. I kind of like Avant-Garde because it's a little bit easier to work with. It's less intimidating than just a straight matte black. So that's a nice little benefit of that shade. All right, I'm gonna grab my liner brush also and take a bit of the matte black and really get in there. Super tight. And I'm gonna pull a little wing up from there. Gently, very carefully. Coming from the lower lash line. And then I'm just gonna blend it over a little bit. Soften it. So it's not a harsh wing, it's just a smoky whisper of a wing. Which is my favorite way to do a wing on my eye shape. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, I'm gonna take some of Fearless on the little detail brush. Bring that down a little bit lower. I'm gonna jump over to Brave and continue easing over with that. And again, going just a bit lower. All right, I'm gonna grab this little diffuse crease brush, detail diffuse crease, grab a bit of Liberty, and take the liberty of running that right underneath here, like this. Just right underneath that curve of my eye, right in the crease. And let's take a bit of Stand Up now, which was the first shimmer we used. Just run that right along there. The copper, that's what it was described as. All right, I'm taking my liner brush one more time. I'm gonna come right here with a bit of the black eyeshadow and just deepen up that little inner corner. I'm just using whatever's left on the brush. Now I'm gonna take some of Maverick on that little brush. And just put a little kiss of it right here. Take a black eyeliner, tight line. I'm gonna throw on some lashes real quick and yeah, we'll be back for the lips. So obviously I decided that we needed some large and in charge lashes. And you know, kind of love it. Make sure they're stuck down good. I feel like the look call for it, we're doing glam. We might as well go in with the lash. So yeah, this is Empress from Kiss Muses collection. Trimmed down to fit my little shrimp eyes. So what I'm going to do now is maybe add a little more in the transition just to, because once I get the lashes on, I feel like there's not enough anything else because these are awfully large lashes. Yeah, then we go back to my little detailed diffuse crease. I'm going to take some Fearless. I just want to kind of bring a little bit more up here. A little bit more up and out. Literally the lash is in the way, it's so big. Oops. I saw them in my drawer, just like, you know, I feel like these might be a good lash for today. They've been sitting in there for so long where I tried them on one day with a look and was like, nope, nope, nope. And now I'm like, today is like, today's the day. You big boys are coming out. And we'll bring in a little more Maverick. Again, because I really like Maverick. Just make everything look big. Big eye look. And make sure it has a bit of a grungy feel, you know. Alright, eyes are done. I'm going to step away from the eyes real quick and do some lips. I have two lip options that I pulled. First I pulled Sanctuary from KVD Beauty, which is kind of a cool tone shade, but I also pulled a black lipstick because I know she marketed a black lipstick with this. So I kind of want to do a black lipstick, but let me just see how Sanctuary looks because I feel like that would just be a pretty option and it'd give you more than one option or idea. Yeah, see, that's a nice shade with this because it ties into that cool monochrome vibe. So yeah, I think that would be a cool, little more restrained option, if you will. I wanted to try it on, see how it would look. Because that was my first thought, was that lipstick. But I think we're gonna go a little more spicy with the black. What am I doing? I have a black lip liner. Hold on. I'm such a doofus. I forgot. I actually own a black lip liner. Like, who needs a black lip liner? I mean, eyeliner functions exactly the same for the most part. There you are. This is Alien, I believe, from NYX. It's a little creamier. Okay, and now I have a little black liquid lipstick from Wet n Wild. It's one of the liquid cat suits. This is the shade So Noir Cool. So Noir Cool. I actually wanted the lip bundle that they had for the Pretty Grunge collection. They just didn't have it at Sephora, and I didn't want to do a separate order, and the sale was at Sephora. So, here we go. But this is actually a great black liquid lipstick. I don't know how easily it is to get your hands on, but I'll link it in case you're looking for a black lipstick. I'll try to find it. That's affordable. Because I mean, how often do we wear black lipstick realistically? Even in my little spooky days, I didn't wear black lipstick that often. It's too hard to keep up with and like to wear out, you know? Like you're constantly touch up. That's the whole thing. I'm gonna let that dry for a second, and I kind of want to see if I put a little bit of the gloss, the eye gloss in here over top, what that would look like. Because my lips are so dry. What that would do. That's a nice effect. It gives it a little bit more of a cream lipstick look. You could definitely create a cool ombre, I think, with this. That actually functions pretty well on the lips. This one, the black lipstick, you gotta be a little precise with it. It's not like the easiest to work with. Okay, cool. So here's a nice option. I think I like it with the black lipstick just because it's fun. And I think black lipstick is a nice neutral lip, honestly. I like wearing black lipstick with like a very like neutral toned down eye, but I think it goes, I mean it goes. You know what, I'm gonna tap a little bit of lip gloss over top too. Just to see. This is Sugar Pill with Trixie Mattel and Honey Drip. Mostly because, again, my lips are so dry. And I feel like this ties into the shades we have on the eye a little bit. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. And I am putting the gloss on the back of my hand, not going straight onto my lips with it. I don't want to get black into the gloss. That looks cool for funsies. And for just some Instagram fun. I love it. Would I wear this lip out? No, because I don't want to fool with it. That's mainly the thing that stops me from wearing black lipstick is I'm lazy. And I don't like having to touch my lips up that much. Yeah, I love the eyes. The eyes are just perfection. The formula in here and the way everything performed, good stuff. I'm impressed. I think it's better than Empowerment, formula-wise. And yeah, it just very easy to blend, easy to use. You've got a lot of versatility in here, like we talked about. I think this is a great palette. And if you like cool tones and like a little drama, this is the palette to go for. If you'd like to just get a little more spicy with your makeup and get a little more glam with it, but also need some nice everyday colors as well. You know, you're a cool tone fan, this is the one. Especially if you'd like to have a little bit more fun with your makeup and like go in with the sparkle and you enjoy the tones. If you like warm tones, I would say go with the Empowerment. And you're more of a gold fan. And see, I'm not usually one for silver eyeshadow. That's why I didn't go for the Xenon palette, because I don't like silver. But I like the silvers in here because they are just interesting undertones. There's a flattering, very wearable element to this palette that I think is a little bit unexpected. And yeah, everything about the palette is rather unexpected. Performance, everything. It was a pleasant surprise all around, just like with all Huda's palettes to me. They're just always, yeah, pleasantly surprising. So yeah, thank you for hanging out with me and creating this little grungy glam, a little more glam than grunge, some goth glam over here. I love it. I'm loving this look. It's a shame it's only 6 a.m. and I've got nowhere to go with this makeup on. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know down below, is there any colors in particular, by the way, that you want me to play with in this palette? Drop it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now. Definitely stay spooky.